Overwatch Anniversary 2020. The date has been leaked, ladies and gentlemen. Also, we've got some skin name leaks. We don't have any pictures of the skins, so don't worry, you're not going to get any spoilers. And then we get a little bit of information on this, Pink Mercy, and we've got some very weird changes on the experimental card, which we really do need to discuss. So the first thing here is this, from Overwatch Cavalry, who are claiming that the Brazilian Overwatch account put a video out and it included Pink Mercy, and she will be part of the Anniversary event 2020. I hope this isn't true, unless it's buyable again for charity, in which case that's fine. But if it's just a skin in the game, you know, like a standard skin which is being added, I don't agree with that, because Pink Mercy is a special charity skin. So I really hope Blizzard haven't done that, because I don't know, that just wouldn't sit very well with me. I don't know about that. That's weird. It's a really cool skin though. All right then, let's move on to this. So this is Neri on Twitter. It looks like Blizzard very accidentally put the wrong patch notes out and then deleted them very quick. But of course, if it's on the internet, well, then they stay on the internet forever. So yeah, the internet never forgets, ladies and gentlemen. This here is, it's the patch notes for the anniversary event, or some of the patch notes for this. So what this does is it confirms the release date of this event, which is the 19th of May, which is next Tuesday. But check this out. It says Overwatch Anniversary 2020. Overwatch turns 4 this year, and we're celebrating with brand new items, including new legendary skins like Masquerade Reaper, Dragoon Mercy, Little Red Ashe, and more. Participate in the weekly anniversary challenges for even more epic rewards, such as Carbon Fiber Sigma, Fleur de Lis, Widowmaker. I have butchered that. I apologize, French people. I apologize. And Masked Man McCree. Did you miss any Overwatch festivities over the previous years? Don't worry. You'll be able to unlock items from past events using credits or by opening loot boxes. Relive the thrill of previous seasonal brawls in the arcade with a brawl of the day rotating throughout the anniversary celebration. Thank you so much for playing Overwatch with us over the past 4 years, blah, 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 blah. All right, so this is obviously a mistake by Blizzard. They very quickly removed this, and this is a legitimate leak because it was actually on the Blizzard forums. You know, a Blizzard guy posted this. It was there. It was out there. It's unlucky. There's not really too many massive spoilers there. We've got the names of skins, and I think this one is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most right now, and it's the Masquerade Reaper, taken straight from the Masquerade comic, I suspect. This could be one hell of a skin. I mean, it looks crazy, that skin, so I hope that becomes a thing. Okay. So now we need to talk about balance changes. This footage you guys are seeing in the background here is of, well, experimental Junkrat. And we do know that experimental changes generally make it to live. There might be some small little tweaks here and there, but typically these balance changes always make it to live. So remember that as we go through these changes. All right, so Jeff says, you'll see a mix of changes on the experimental card. We have some more interesting things planned, but those things usually require a lot more effort. It's still useful for us and for the community to test the balance changes as well. Now, he's put interesting in air quotes there, or at least that's what I imagine he's done it. I mean, they're just in quotes. It's text, not air quotes. Ollie Style, what the hell? But this is because the community reaction has been very much like, these experimental changes are kind of they're a bit boring. They don't really have any massive impact to any of the heroes, and they're just kind of like little stat buffs, which is fine. And they are going to have impacts. Don't get me wrong, especially the Bastion one. We'll get onto that one in a second. All right, then. So what we're looking at is we've got a bunch of changes to a bunch of different heroes. It's good to see that Blizzard are still messing around with this kind of balance, but let's get stuck into it. So the first one we've got is Zen. Now, this is Orb of Discord. Damage amplification is increased from 25 to 30%. This is putting Orb of Discord back to the way it used to be. It always used to be a 30% debuff, and then it got nerfed to 25%. This is a buff for Zen. This means that Zen will be doing, well, effectively he's doing more damage because what he's doing is enabling the team to do more damage. It's a nice little buff for Zen. So, I mean, yeah, I like Zen. I'm a Zen player. I'll take it. It's fine. And then we get this for Mercy. So a lot of people, myself included, were expecting a bit of a meaty change to Mercy, if I can say that. She got an extra 5 healing per second on a staff. I mean, okay. Again, like, these changes are not blowing anyone away. They're not blowing my socks off. It's like, well, yeah, it's a little change to Mercy. It makes her a bit more viable. She's got a bit more healing. I mean, Mercy's viable anyway, but she should be a main primary healer. You know, she should be one of the heroes in the game with the highest healing, and she kind of isn't because she doesn't really have any burst healing. And it's like, yeah, we've done it to death, I think, the discussion on Mercy. But I don't know. This is experimental, right? Blizzard go a bit crazier, maybe? Next up, we get Anna. So this is a nerf, and it is to Biotic Rifle. Healing is reduced from 75 to 70. Yeah. Again, it's like, okay, it's 5 reduction. Like, it's it's nothing that's really going to have a massive impact on the game. It's like the Mercy buff. It's not really going to have an impact on that hero. So these changes are just like, yeah, okay. It's a buff, I guess. 1,000 YouTubers out there can be like, yeah, Mercy buff, which is true. But, you know, and I was one of those. It's true. In fact, that was before we knew what it was. But it was true. But that's kind of it. Yeah. Okay, then we get Junkrat changes. Now, these kind of come out of left field because this is kind of like, why? All right, then. So, Junkrat, frag launcher, projectiles maintain slightly more velocity on ricochets. Now, this means you can bounce them off walls further. So, if you bounce it off a wall, it will go further. And it kind of does feel better. It feels a bit more direct. It feels a bit faster when you're doing this, because obviously as he's firing them out, they're hitting a wall and bouncing off faster. Basically, that's kind of it. Concussion mine, projectile speed increase from 20 to 25. Now, this is actually kind of nice because you can throw the concussion mine further, and so you can kind of use it in some different scenarios. So, yeah, it's kind of nice. Ricochet distance off enemy players greatly reduced. So if you throw it at someone, well, I mean, it hits them basically, then you can detonate it. Total mayhem, bomb detonation time reduced from 1 second to 0.7. And the bomb spread increased by 50%. Yeah, I mean, I think these are just changes to try and make Junkrat feel a little bit more, a bit more spammy. I mean, Junkrat has always been one of the kings of spam. But as you watch here as I'm firing, like, you notice that you can't really see too much at the moment now. But when I start bouncing these off walls, you'll see that typically, well, it's not typically, they just do bounce through. But like, you can see the concussion mine there. When I throw the mine, it just gets thrown an absolute distance now, which is... yeah, it's a change to Junkrat. Like, it's just weird. It's like, why is that? Why was Junkrat even being considered as a hero that needed looking at? Surely there were other heroes that probably needed looking at, you know? Or heroes that need looking at that haven't really been looked at enough. All right, then, let's go on to Moira, because this is a weird one. So, a lot of people have been moaning about Moira, but there's one thing you have to realize, and this has always been true with Overwatch. Overwatch isn't a game where every hero is an ultra-high, super Twitch aim-based character. Heroes have got different power levels in different skill sets. Moira's got a certain skill set. Mercy was one for years where people were like, oh my god, you know, you're so bad at this game, you play Mercy. But hang on a minute, Mercy is highly complicated to play. I'm terrible with Mercy because I'm crap with Mercy's positioning. You need to be aware of what's going on all the time. You're flying around the battlefield. It's like really involved, but it's not about aim. And that's always what Overwatch has been about, right? It's all these funky different mechanics in an FPS sort of like brawl-based game, which is kind of what it is, right? Anyway, look at Moira. Biotic Orb. Damage radius reduced from 5 to 4 meters. That, I think, is actually fine, because we've all died to orbs that have just been flying around the map and they tag us and kill us, and it's kind of annoying. They're still going to do that, but they're not going to do it as much because they've got an extra 1 meter reduced off the radius, which actually, you know, is quite a decent nerf to that. So that's fine. It's like, okay, that's fine. Projectile speed increased from 16 to 20. So they move faster. So the orb now is faster. You throw the orb faster. But this is for both, right? This is for healing orbs, and this is for damage orbs, right? So it means you can throw your orb out quicker at range, so it's a bit better for that sort of like ranged healing if you need it, which is a little bit of a buff, right? It's nothing amazing. It's not blowing me away. Like, these changes are not, I don't think they're blowing anyone away, but that's fine. And then finally, projectile duration reduced from 10 to 7 seconds. So you throw the projectile faster. It lasts for 3 seconds or less. It lasts for 7 seconds instead of 10, which is 3 seconds less, right? And it's got 4 meters of damage radius. The healing radius remains the same, but the damage radius has been reduced. Those are the Moira changes. Like, it's a really weird one, because Moira, yeah, I don't think people kind of get annoyed when a stray orb kills them. But I think the main issue with Moira, and this is probably why a lot of players at the higher levels have got an issue with her, is she's always got a get out of jail card. Moira can stand inside the team, spraying a healing around, throwing at orbs, doing tons of healing, and then if it goes bad, she just fades away, and it's fine. Think about Mercy. Mercy in that scenario can't just sit in the team, because where's she going to Guardian Angel away if things go bad? She's not. She's probably going to die. What about Anna? You know, she's not. She's going to suffer. Batiste, all right, he can use Immortality Field, and Anna could grenade herself. But Moira can just get away. Like, Moira has the option to get away, and she's very self-reliant. Well, not self-reliant, but she's very dependable on herself, I guess, pushing away flankers that are trying to maybe focus her down. So it's weird, this is. Like, I don't really think this is, like, yeah, it's a nerf to Moira, but also a bit of a buff to her healing. It's just weird. It's like, I don't think it's enough. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I just think, like, I think Moira's a good hero, but I just think that maybe they should be looking at Moira's fade, maybe, rather than just going straight in and looking at kind of what they have done. Maybe they make her alternate fire something that, yeah, you kind of have to aim a little bit instead of it just being like an old Symmetra style lock-on weapon. Anyway, let's move on from that, and let's move on to the, well, this change is just mental. Before we get into this, I think this is terrible for lower ranks in the game. This is just crazy. I don't know why you'd do this. So, Bastion, configuration sentry, spread decreased by 10%, shots until max spread reduction lowered from 60 to 40, self-repair, resource drain rate increased by 20%, healing per second increased from 75 to 90. Now, I don't think anyone asked for a Bastion buff, but the problem here with the Bastion changes they've got is it just makes pirate ship more viable. In fact, it makes pirate ship comps. It makes comps where you're just sitting there with a Bastion behind, like, you know, in some sort of bunker comp or whatever. But I think pirate ship makes more sense. It makes them more obnoxious. It makes them harder to deal with. And at the lower ranks in the game, these just, like, it just wins Junkertown. It's hard to deal with a pirate ship comp anyway. So expecting players in plat and silver and gold, you know, to deal with that, it's going to be very difficult. So going out and just straight up making Bastion better in sentry mode and giving him a better self-heal effectively is, I don't know what Blizzard are really doing here. Like, it's strange. I feel like these changes feel like changes for the sake of it. Now, I don't know, like, the only interesting comment I guess we've got here is the interesting comment of Jeff, which is like, hey, more interesting changes are coming. I hope that's the case, because I don't know, I just feel a bit like this change isn't really anything. Like, they've made some changes, but they're not really too great. They've changed Junkrat a bit. I don't really know why, although he is more fun to play, but hey, let's just I don't know, I just feel like they're almost like they were sitting there going, hey, let's just change Junkrat. Yeah, let's do it. Oh yeah, Moira's a problem. It's like some people are moaning about it. Let's just make some random changes, but we won't really look at some of the problems which might be the main issue with Moira. I don't know. Let's buff Mercy, but it doesn't really matter. Let's nerf Anna. It doesn't really matter. I don't know, guys. I'm a little bit down on these changes. It's a bit weird. All right, guys. I've been Stylosa. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, thank you for watching. It's always a pleasure making these videos for you guys. And as ever, let me know what you think about these in the comments below. And there is currently a poll on the community tab on the YouTube channel, which is asking you guys about hero pools, because there's a lot of drama at the moment at the pro level going on about that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.